sleeping on the Jews. It's Bibi Netanyahu, people. It's Bibi Netanyahu. And it's freaking, what's his name? Schmodrick and the other guy that freaking are the worst people on the earth.
But so this is why are they the worst? Because they say things that aren't even half as bad as what Hamas says about killing Jews and doing. So they're the worst because they say things that are not.
They say things like, "Let them starve and die. Let's make sure they starve."
And Hamas says, "Let's kill them all. Let's hunt them down, and let's." So the Jews are the worst because they say, "Let these people that talk about us die." I'm not saying it's right to say. I'm saying is I never understand. The difference is,
Paul, if I had a gun and you had a
missile, 9,000
missile. You have I've got nuclear weapons and you have a fucking bottle rocket. Who wins that fight?
Thankfully, the guy with the better weapons, because thank God that the Jews had better weapons because they indiscriminately threw missiles at Israel and Tel Aviv. They weren't targeting anything, but nobody cares about that. They literally just would throw as many missiles as possible, hoping they kill as many people as possible.
And they knew they were not going to even come close to killing anybody.
Because the Jews have technology. But it didn't mean that the Hamas was trying to be thoughtful.
They've got everything. The Jews have hold on a second. We have given them everything that they could ever dream of to protect themselves. They use us all the time for bullshit. And I don't, everybody talks about America first. When I see these politicians go over there, it's Israel first, America second.
Israel's fighting a death to America cult. So we should support them.
Were they death to America before 1948?
They didn't exist until 1970 something. So Hamas is it was the PLO.
The Palestinians and the Arabs. Were they death to America? No, they weren't.
But remember, before then, we were in the 60s. They still weren't like Muslim controlled. They were very liberal kind of things. You look at Iran. They were wearing mini skirts and stuff.
Yeah, some of them. But the thing is, in Palestine and stuff, once Israel came in, and Israel has every right to exist, and they should be able to fight back. Comes to a certain point though, where you're just killing for the sake of. When you have your own military going, we don't want to do this. This. Our people are tired. They're sick of war. You didn't get back the hostages.
They need to stop the war. Yeah, I don't think anybody disagrees with that. They need to stop the war.
Well, they're gonna ramp it up. They voted today for the plan. They're going into Gaza. They're going to occupy it.
Well, guess what? There's been no missiles fired into Israel for how long now?
Because there's nothing left. Guess what?
Because there's nothing left. So this whole thing, so my thing is, wait a minute. They were firing missiles into them every chance they got, and we were saying they were lying
every day. There's so many more Hamas fighters over there. Well, where are they? Why aren't they firing stuff?
They're not, because they destroyed it. So now everybody wants to act like Israel really didn't. Oh, Israel, you're just trying to kill people. Well, then how come there's no more missiles being thrown? Did you not, Israel, destroy their capability to counterattack you? It looks like they did. Or were you just targeting hospitals?
Why are you continuing to do what you're doing? Why have you killed 200 journalists? I know they were all part of Hamas, but you won't allow, any other journalist in the world in there.
They should allow journalists.
They won't.
It's
like this, dude. If your girlfriend says, no, you can't look at my phone. You can't go to my phone. You can't look over here. You can't do any of that stuff. You'd start thinking, I think something's going on.
Just like if my girlfriend said, hey, you beat me. Did you have a photo of it? No. Do you have any pictures of the damage? No. But I want you to believe my testimony that you're beating me.
What if you broke her nose and she's in the hospital? Did you see anybody do it? Your knuckles are bloody.
So Egypt's wall's right there. Nobody can get a Wi-Fi signal and send us videos.
They cannot. Do you have any idea, Paul, the amount of power Israel has over Hamas? Not Hamas, but Palestine in general. 12 to 18 hours a day for the umpteen years. They control everything: the water, the electricity, the internet, which is spotty at best. They control everything. What food can come in, what food can go out, who can come in, who can go out. Every ounce of their life is
from
that
Egyptian's border.
Yes, from Egypt all the way across. Because the only way they have the internet, there's nothing over the Egyptian border. There's nothing over there. So there's nothing.
Got a big Wi-Fi tower on top of that pyramid.
That's
cool.
Did you know there's a golf course next to that?
Isn't that amazing? Yeah.
I was like, I have never heard of it till the other day. You guys were talking about, yeah, dude, I golf by the pyramid.
How cool would that be?
In Vegas? No, like the pyramid. I'm like, get the shit out of town. It's freaking crazy.
To me, that would be the most amazing. I don't even like golf, but I would do that because I'd be in the pyramids. You don't
even like sports.
Yeah, I don't like sports. I guess my whole thing on Israel is I hear a lot of stuff, and I'm like, just show me the video. You guys are over there with cell phones in your hands, 1 million people or more. I should have 1 million videos of these atrocities.
There's a bazillion videos out there.
But they're not. But they don't have those. They have the look at me, I'm hungry. Look at me, I'm holding.
Show me Israel that you're not doing any of this stuff, rather than telling me, oh, take our word for it because you guys like us.
On both sides. But my favorite video is the man holding his poor dead child. But unfortunately, the dead child had to rub his nose. And so he's crying as he's holding his child during the interview, and the kid goes back to being dead. You're like, I don't believe you people.
So everybody that goes, like these Doctors Without Border guys were on with Theo Vaughn, and he's doing his usual Theo stuff because he's really kind of the way he is. And they're talking about all the horrific shit that's going on over there. And that's all a lie.
Could you have the same doctors in any of the war-torn things in Ukraine or anybody talking about all the devastation happening and it be true without it being a genocide?
If one side is fighting back,
thank God the Hamas can't fight back. That's the whole point of this.
Yeah, but think about this, dude. Okay, I was talking to this the other day. Everybody likes Braveheart, the movie. It's great.
Yeah,
right? Fucking Braveheart. Let's see, who were they? The English were brutes that controlled everything that Scotland did, took everything they wanted, raped their women, took the land whenever they wanted. This guy rises up and he gets a fucking Academy Award. And by the way, Mel Gibson's not a fan of the Jew. So I heard he is now. But it's weird kind of way that we look at it. One man's freedom fighter is another man's freaking terrorist. And while I think that we all agree Hamas is shit, at some point in time, you kill just about everybody you think you can over there. And all of a sudden you're like, wow, I can't believe we're occupying this land and they still want to kill us. Yeah, you killed all their family. I'm not going to be your fucking friend. The minute I have a chance, I'm going to stab you in the heart.
There was never a Palestine. The Palestine since, what is it? We dug up the original Roman emperor that first used the word Palestine to call that the Jews Palestine. No. There was literally it was made up. I just heard a history guy talk about this. It was made up during like the PLO time.
It used to be called, was it the British something or other? Like
something like that. They made up this whole concept of Palestine.
Yeah, but if I'm living there for 75 years, my family's been here for 10 generations, and they decide, hey, we're giving this land away to you, and you're like, fuck off, or you can live here with these people, I'd feel a little aggrieved.
But
Native American, how you guys feeling?
I started to say, ask a Native American how many Native Americans have bombed or raped and pillaged a town in America because they now live on reservations and not to the best. Those reservations aren't the greatest places.
If you ask somebody who's Native American, would you like to take your land back, even if it means by force, and you could have a chance to do all that stuff? You don't think they fucking wouldn't take a chance if they had the
honestly at this point? I don't think they would. I think ththey'd want a better treatment. I agree with them. I think they want better treatment, but at this point, Native Americans don't want to kill, the paleface. They don't want to kill Americans.
2.5-3 million people over in Gaza. They just want a better life. They don't want to kill anybody.
But then how come when I look at that January, the October 7th or whatever 8th video
7th,
and you see Hamas, you see that poor girl with the bloody pants get paraded, and you see along both sides of these Hamas fighters, the normal Palestinians cheering them on.
Yeah,
you know what it reminded me of? When the Nazi tanks were running down the streets of Paris and Nazis were cheering them on. Why can we kill Nazis that were men, women, and children that weren't combatants in order to kill the Nazi regime? But we look at it completely different when the Jews are not targeting random. These are collateral damage. Just like we weren't really targeting. Well, dressing.
If they haven't fired for months. When's the last time you even hear anything close to it?
That's why it needs to stop.
So if that hasn't happened, what are you doing now? Because every time I see any video, it's basically women, some old people, and young kids. I don't know
what hostage digging his own grave.
Yeah, that's horrible. And you know what? You haven't even tried to get anybody back if you're Bibi Netanyahu since when? Since February? You were caught on camera. Your wife was caught on a hot mic saying they're dead.
Well, they probably. I thought they were all dead, honestly.
Yeah, I don't.
The fact that video came out surprised me that any of them were still alive.
It's funny because we sit here and we talk about all of this stuff, and again, there's no everybody here. The hostages lost. The Palestinian people that just want to live in peace and who are dying, they've lost. Humanity is losing.
Wait a minute. The Palestinian people just want to live in peace. No, in no polls before this were the Palestinian people, by overwhelming majority, talking about just wanting to live in peace. They were wanting to eradicate and destroy Israel. They were supporting Hamas. There was not this peaceful group of people.
Were those the polls the same people that we won't believe what happens for what they say?
Those are the polls that were being taken by independent people. They asked, like, what do you think of Israel? We want them dead. In schools, they teach their kids that how great it is to be a martyr.
In schools over in Israel, they teach their kids about the people on the other side of the green. Is it the green line or the green zone?
I think.
Evil and bad and subhuman and shit like that. None of this is good. It's all propaganda and bullshit.
It's all, but the difference is, none of it's good. The idea that these are innocent people that just wanted peace is kind of came out of a brilliant propaganda push, because you see them cheering them on October 7th. You see lines of people, cell phones out. They can't put their cell phones out now, but they put their cell phones up there to get this footage. They would send cell phones back of them killing and murdering people because they were all proud of it. And people would cheer them on, and everybody was holding cell phones to look at the hostages and the people there. All those cell phones are dead, apparently, because I can't get that stuff out. Those same Palestinians.
Some of it comes out, but nobody believes it. The minute you play it, you get, oh, that's not real, or that's fake, or we said this or that. It's like today they said, we've given them 120 million things of food since May. Yeah, you have. Oh, but by the way, for the average person to get enough calories, just the average person, you would have had 400 million meals to get in there. And you guys put a blockade on from March where you wouldn't allow food in. And you said you were doing that on purpose from March till May, until eventually somebody said, dude, you guys can't fucking do this.
But we did change the rules of war, because guess what? We never gave the Germans 1 ounce of food.
No, here's the thing, Paul. When you occupy or you do what you're doing, where you stop them from, if I tell you can't grow food, it's your yard, kind of, you can't grow food. I'll decide when you get fed, how you get fed. And if you try to grow food, I'll take you as a combatant. I can blow it up whenever I want. I'll give you the food, and then I decide I don't want to. By the way, through the occupation, according to the Geneva rules of engagement, if you are occupying, you are responsible for feeding the people.
And so, but the Hamas videos that show Hamas literally armed people, they don't look starving to me, are hijacking food trucks.
And there's the bullshit again, because Israel came out and said, no, that's not us. That isn't Hamas.
Then who was it? Why were they dressed up like Hamas?
Some of them actually were groups that worked with inside of Israel that were taking it and freaking swapping it and taking it. Some of it was Hamas, but nothing. It was less than 10%.
We're in the fog of war right now. So you do hear multiple sides of everything.
You hear multiple sides, but here's the thing. I understand Israel has a right to exist. This isn't about the Jewish people. This is about a group of people in the Hood Party whose goal singularly is to take every ounce of that. They're going to move on to the West Bank next. And baby, once you think about this, they look over. You don't think they want that third temple?
Well, of course they do. It's theirs.
What do you think's going to happen when they go for that third temple?
Armageddon?
Yeah.
If you read the Bible, Armageddon.
Saudi. And do you want that? You know what? It's what we say about Israel. Here's my inevitable. Here's my thing with Israel. You're supposed to be our friend. You're a shitty friend, by the way. You take from us. You never give. You spy on us all the time. You treat us like we're your fucking piggy bank most of the time. The government does. You exist because essentially you got lucky through freaking weird shit with Truman and his buddy, who's his friend, his haberdashery, who helped you decide that we're going to hang out and become pals with the Zionists.
This feels like a modern story, though. It really does. It feels like that storyline and that perspective is something that seems to have happened over the course of a year. We've never heard this before. We never heard about the evil Jews always screwing over America.
Not about the evil Jews. This is the thing. And this is the thing, is that I told somebody the other day who was yelling at me from AIPAC or one of these groups. I said, this isn't about the Jews. Stop making everything about the Jews. Because you guys always want to say, we don't hate the Muslims. And then you go, well, this has nothing to do with the Jews. This has to do with the government itself and the power and of which this guy in particular, Bibi Netanyahu, wants. Let's see. He told us he put the poison pill in when they were in Oslo to make sure that Arafat and them would never take a deal. He said that. That was even before he was prime minister. Then he said, if we got rid of Saddam Hussein, this was going to be the greatest thing ever. They wrote a paper. He commissioned a paper from people that ended up being in Bush's administration that pushed for it, and it cost the lives of millions of people and trillions of dollars. But they push us into bullshit.
Was it knowingly? Did they know getting rid of Saddam Hussein? It's a bad equation. They ended up not becoming the right equation, but was that intentionally known that if I do this, it's 100% going to turn out horrible?
Iraq was never a fucking threat to them.
The question is was that analysis saying we had, and it's wrong. I agree. It's a wrong analysis, but our analysis is if we got rid of this dictator, things will be better because of these reasons. Was it all based on lies that they knew were lies, or was it miscalculation?
No, I think they knew it was all lies.
Again, that would be the uncharitable version of what happened. I don't agree we should have went to that war. I don't think Saddam Hussein was a threat to America or anything.
Never a threat to anybody.
But did they do it knowing it was a lie just to make oil and money? Possibly. But I don't know that. Did Halliburton have more to do with it than the Jews? Probably. Halliburton made a lot more money off of that whole thing than the Jews did.
I don't know. Well, I mean, look, they're all in this shit together. I'm sorry. The people that want to blow it up also want to rebuild it.
Yeah.
And Israel, by the way, gives them the best opportunity to blow shit up all the time.
Well, but it's
go read it's a clean break. It's a new strategy for securing the realm. And Bibi commissioned it in 1996. And it was all based on things like Iraq and it was such a joke. We should never have gotten anywhere. And by the way, Paul, this was 1996. This was pre-2001.
So how do the Jews have so much power within our government that our government just goes along like lapdogs with what they want? Or did they convince people in our government that this is the right course of action?
Well, first of all, AIPAC should be registered as a foreign lobbying group. Number one.
Probably, yeah. I mean, it pays a lot of money.
The amount of money that they give, and even Bowman last year, the wackadoo who got voted out of, was it Congress? They got voted out of Congress. And again, they give to both Democrats and Republicans, man. The one time they'll come together, you'll see them all on stage, Ted Cruz and all of them holding hands with Nancy Pelosi talking about AIPAC. They give money. They are so much. They're not even close to being. Nobody's even close to AIPAC and the power and the money that they give to.
Well, maybe China.
No, they blow China out of the water when they have the control that they have over here over our people is ridiculous. I mean, it is ridiculous. The amount of control that they have over politicians are terrified. I was interviewing a guy that was like, he's a local city council here, and he's thinking about running for Congress. And he's a Republican. He goes, man, I've already been flooded with calls from AIPAC. And he goes, I don't even know. I'm not even unfamiliar with what they want, but they're talking about all these things they want to do, but you got to give them support.
Well, so yeah, it's America first. 100%. Never changes that.
But they're not America first.
They're not America first,
no.
which I'm fine with. If they're registered and they want to try and make people, American laws be beneficial to Israel, okay. That's part of, politics. As long as our people are America first, we should do nothing that would be detrimental to America to benefit anybody else.
The reason he went to Congress is to make sure that he can secure a safe world for Israel.
Well, I think that is that literally is that a soundbite they pull out because it's convenient right now, and that's his real reason, or is it one of a list of itinerary?
No, that's he's one of those things. Again, and he's very. It's this dispensationalism too. You got a lot of that. You got a lot of Christian Zionists over here who are doing everything they can to push forward the start of the end
of the world, Armageddon.
Yeah, and everybody just that's good. From some wackadoo wrote some in the 1800s. Well done, guys. Take a look at that. But
well, the Bible's a little older than 1800s, but I'll go with that.
the guy who came up with dispensationalism.
Oh yes, that was
Darcy or whatever.
Darby. Darby and
Darby.
The same with the rapture and all that is really a 19
Left Behind.
Yeah, it's all
What's the Schofield Bible?
There was a lot of this.
And that's what this is.
I don't know what that came from. Yeah.
This weird kind of, they came up, well, it's quick. We're going to go do this and we're going to do that. It's like they got the red heifers and they sent him over there from Texas. And you're like, I don't really like, first of all, what? And I don't know if it's in the Bible. Did you guys find out where they're shipping them?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's artificial insemination. That feels a little weird too.
They were trying to clone them.
Yeah.
So not just, Christian Jews, everybody, that's part of their theology. They need that red heifer. At the end of the day, there is whenever you talk about Israel, there's a biblical and religious connotation.
The thing about the biblical side of it is these Christians who think we must love Israel, the nation. The nation's gone. If you're a believer in Christ, the nation became that became you and I and everybody else, because they gave the Jews the opportunity. They rejected this.
Christ became, gave, now everybody has that opportunity.
Yeah, well, it's a different, this is protecting a political and a country. This is not protecting the reality of the biblical side of it.
No, it's not the biblical side, but in historical side, that land was historically for the Jews. Forget any religious thing. We have Roman, we have, Egyptian, you have all these
the
kind
Ottomans, you go back, they have the Canaanites.
That was the Jewish traditional Jewish
years ago. Who's the first group on there? I was reading the other day. They were like, they live next to woolly mammoth. In theory, it's theirs. So
if we keep going this infinite regression, it's and
that's just it though, right? Like what time do we stop going back? What time do we stop going back?
Here's my thing. The same side that's talking about like, give it back to Mexico, give it back to American Indians, but don't give Jews their homeland. Wait, what? How does that work logically? If this is really American Indian land, which it's not, by the way, it's 100% American because we settled here and conquered it and bought it. It's American land. But if you believe that American Indians, their land was stolen, the Jews' land was stolen, and all they're doing is getting their rightful land back, it can't. There's no logical coherency where those two things wouldn't be the exact same. If you believe,
we're trying to also, look, the whole thing went sideways when they allowed it. We kind of, Britain's like, look, we're fucking over this, right? This is you guys. This is Palestine, and this is here. We're going to draw a map here. You guys have it out. We're leaving, and then everybody left, and then we got involved. We got sucked into it because of the haberdasher, and like the whole thing with Truman and and Marshall of the Marshall Plan, who was, I think, his Secretary of State at the time, said, "Dude, I will fucking vote against you if you freaking recognize them, because now the Arabs are going to run over. They're going to take the oil and they're going to give it to the Soviets."
Dude, what they didn't want to say is the Jews were a hot potato. I was just watching it was an old movie about how when they were escaping Germany, and no country would allow them, not America.
No,
it was a cruise ship full of Jews.
We sunk them. One of them got sent back.
Someone got sent back. It was literally no one wanted them. No. So Israel was like, let's give them back their original homeland. I understand. I don't understand like the whole nobody wanted them. I'm like, dude, just.
Oh, I mean, some nations took them, but at some point in time in Europe and stuff, I could see why. Because look, what are we going to do? We're going to take them, and then eventually Germany comes here, and then what?
So, I think it was a hot potato at the time.
So but there were other places that you're looking around going, why didn't we do more?
It was like Argentina or something like that didn't want to take them. There was South American countries.
Argentina's like, look, you don't know what's going to happen, but after the war, those people that chased you out, they're fucking coming here. So
they're coming here, yeah.
And Hitler's new land right here, and the next door we have Nazi land. That's going to
shave, and nobody's going to know him anymore. He's like Superman. Who is that? Is that him? No, he doesn't have a mustache.
Because remember, he died, and the occult war ends 10 years after. That's according to Hellboy.
Yep, exactly. Yep.
So, all right, let's move on to something more entertaining. The aliens are here, according to Luna, which is not my dog. Rep Luna thinks they're interdimensional beings. She's not saying aliens. It's the thing that you and I have always talked about.
Yep. I think the chance of it being interdimensional is
much greater.
Incredibly, like almost 99% greater than the idea that these things are coming from another galaxy or planet.
Because because to I mean, they would have to be so far ahead, and which they easily could be, their brain power if they're traveling that far. We can't, in our minds, think that somebody could live a million light years away and get here and still be alive. And when did you leave kind of thing. It's that weird kind of.
That was never the problem for me was always you traveled that far to do what? What are you doing? If I travel that far, there has to be a motive or a reason, unless it's so alien that we don't understand. And the motive is literally to put probes up people's butts to see what a trailer park people will tell about you.
That's not very nice. By the way, little side note, 1997, this day, South Park, Alien Probe, first episode on Comedy Central was this day in 1997.
Which is a great episode. But it's like people say they helped us build the pyramids. They showed us rock technology. They traveled light years in an alien spacecraft.
Yeah, we don't know what's underneath the pyramids.
Well, it could be a giant power generator.
Well, they might look and go, look, the people that are coming behind you guys are going to be retarded. Okay, they're going to be stupid as get out. You have no idea. So this is the way this is going to work. We're going to put the ship below with this neat thing. They'll have people come here and they'll think they'll find a mummy and they'll talk about Cleopatra. And by the way, she's not even from Egypt. And, she's Greek. And, and then they'll think about it for years. And they'll think they found special stuff. And then eventually they'll catch up. But by then it won't matter.
But even hieroglyphics. So you came here, you gave us Sumerians had the first written language in the cylinder seals.
Yeah.
That's what you thought was a good way to express language. It was still primitive compared to how we can talk now, and how someone that could travel the distance should be able to communicate.
Well,
but you taught them to communicate with pictures, emojis,
communicating with each other compared to them communicating with what would essentially be maybe a hamster.
Well,
you're going to have to dumb it down.
You maybe dumb it down, but that's really you're going to dumb it to emoji level.
Yeah.
So, guys, we're going to give you some emojis, and that's how you're going to express your.
But it's like math, right? One day we didn't have math. The next day we have math.
We're going to teach you to build world wonders and that kind of thing. But we're not going to teach you how to talk correctly or to express things correctly. We're going to teach you math equations that are absolutely amazing. But just the human thoughts and stuff, we're not going to teach you how to express those. To me, it all falls apart in the analysis of what an alien species that came to give us technology, which is what
we're
it says.
Snacks, dude. This is just a big holding pen.
We're basically very tasty.
We're all Palestine at that point.
Exactly. But I do believe that the idea that the ancients weren't insane, that they were talking about things that came from other dimensions, not from other planets. In other words, they're not that dumb. They're not that dumb. If something literally came from another planet in a vehicle, they would have said, "Oh, this came from Alpha Centauri." They mapped.
Yeah.
I mean, the astronomical correlation between the pyramids and even Giza is extraordinary. They understood the stars and that kind of astronomical science.
Yeah.
But they can't say that these people came from there. They can't be very easy. Oh, these people came and they said they came from gods, and they use these terms. But even a god didn't come from another planet.
All right, check this out. Let's have fun. This is what's her name. This is Luna talking to the Rogan.
You said that you've seen evidence. Like, what kind of evidence have you seen?
I have seen photos. I have seen...
what have you seen photos of?
So I was in a skiff, and I can't discuss all that was in a skiff, but what I can tell you is based on the photos that I've seen, I'm very confident that there's things out there that have not been created by mankind.
It seems crazy that people have access to information that shows that there's something outside of us that is more intelligent, at least more capable than we are, and they hide it from everybody else.
See, that right there is awesome. She's, they're inching us along because you just can't say it overnight.
Well, you can't say it because people I think are prepared for aliens. They're not prepared for interdimensional beings.
Yeah.
Because the interdimensional being makes you accept a world that aliens don't fit neatly in. Right now, technology, we have cell phones, we have all this stuff. It's easy to fit aliens into our world.
And interdimensional, I mean, what's the computer? They solved that math problem. We always talk about that. They had to go, it said, I had to go to a different dimension because there wasn't the... you guys didn't have the math in this dimension.
In 5 minutes. And if it was a normal computer in normal linear time, it would be longer than the universe has been around.
Yeah.
Which means that this dimensional concept is real.
Yeah.
We're scratching the surface on it. That is going to be mind-blowing to people. That guess what? A spiritual concept of the universe is much closer than a Newtonian or even a Darwinian concept of the universe. If these things exist outside of our space and time, but live alongside us, that's incredible.
That's weird.
And that is more. It's not just they evolved to have technology. And
if you turn to your left or right, there's another dimension that you can't see that could be right there. The envelope.
100%.
Hey, what's going on? You know,
100%. And you have the ancients discussing this. Like one of my favorite things is these weird. What?
I hope I look good in those.
Exactly. Do you ever see the ancients? They build these doorways into stone monuments, but they were doorways that are stone, and they said this is where the gods would come through. And they built these giant things with these 3 doors. Is a very common thing. It's 3 different doors where the gods and I guess their henchmen or whatever. What I don't know, but these are the doors for the gods. It's coming. Nothing about that strikes me as an alien technology. You carve something in a side of a mountain because that's where these people are coming from.
It would be alien to us. It's a different dimension, but it's alien to us because we can't wrap our mind.
We can't.
It's like I was watching what's his name? He's a physicist, and he was talking about the British guy. God, I forgot his name. I'll find it in a second. But he said, you know what? Human beings can't even wrap their mind around how big our universe is. No. You guys can't wrap your mind around forever. Nobody can. Our minds are not physically able to understand forever.
It's because we exist in a time as a dimension we exist in. It'd be like trying to get a fish to understand dry. They've never been outside, and they would die if they were outside, but they'd never been outside of the water. So the concept of being completely dry and the desert would be completely, trying to explain that to an octopus. Can't explain a lot to an octopus, but that's not the point.
Well, that's a bad one because octopus are the aliens.
They are pretty, honestly.
That is one of the theories that octopus are aliens.
They came on a
I was up in Seattle at the big aquarium, and they were talking about they have this big, huge octopus tank, and they said, yeah, he goes, some of our big fish over because they had a massive octopus. We had noticed that our fish are gone, but they were all the same size, so they wouldn't eat each other. And we finally figured it out one day when somebody came in early and the water was wet, and they looked over and they went to look at the film, and their octopus had squeezed out of something like this, and it was this big. It would just flop across, climb up, go in, grab one, eat it, then didn't come back. And I thought that's pretty cool.
What I can't believe is the octopus there would be food in the jar. It would unscrew the jar, get the food, and then put the lid back on.
Well, yeah, because he doesn't want it to get dirty.
Exactly. But it's a fascinating. Monkeys don't do that.
No.
Monkeys don't unscrew and then put a screw back on.
But monkeys also throw poo at you. So there's something they do that do.
Positive, though.
Hey, did you see that? Speaking of that, have you seen that guy who's holding the giant squid on the little boat, and the thing just all over him? He's all exactly. It's worth it. It's worth its weight in gold, people.
My favorite is the monkey that throws the poop into the crowd and it lands on the old lady's nose. She doesn't know what to do. Clap. She's just standing there.
That was awesome. Come back for the 5 o'clock show, guys. We'll do something different.
Exactly.
This time I'm gonna do shit in both directions.
Exactly. Because you're like, okay.
When do we find out when the other dimensional folks get here? Because I think they're bracing us for it.
They really are. And unfortunately, there's that guy that months ago kind of warned everybody. He was supposed to be like a whistleblower saying that they're going to tell us aliens are on their way and they're slowly coming closer. But it's not true. It's about this dimensional thing that they've always been here.
Yeah.
And I think
well, the announcement will come.
They're supposed to come in November.
When all of the Epstein files come out. I keep saying the minute the Epstein files come out, Trump's going to walk to a podium with a little fucking green guy.
I think that they probably have.
What do you guys think of that? Huh? You think I was thinking about the child molester? Check out Green Guy.
Exactly. Green Guy. I like it. He's a bit of a child molester too.
But he's got 3 fingers and his name is Green Guy. He's got big eyes. He doesn't talk much because he's Green Guy.
His name's Green Guy, and he's going to help clean up DC. which is hilarious. Which would be amazing if they're like, okay, humans, you're out of control. We're just coming in here to kind of like fix things.
So I did a call today with Ashley Brassfield from it's on the YouTube. If you guys watching, go check it out. She's in DC. She works for the Daily Caller. And we did a thing, and she was great. But she's like, we were talking about, some of the. She goes, it's a few areas, pockets, like anything, right? Like Long Beach. Long Beach is gorgeous, but there's a few pockets. You're not going down to MLK at night. Let's be honest. But she was talking about. She goes, but the homeless. And she goes, that is an issue that she goes is a problem because, it's like I always equate it to you have this great dinner that's like your turkey. It's Thanksgiving. Then you bring the litter box onto the table while you're eating. You don't want that.
Well, why shouldn't the capital of our country be spick and span?
It should be.
And crime free.
Why can't all of our cities be spick and span?
Because they're run by Democrats. But if they weren't, all of our cities could be spick and span and crime free.
Yeah.
And I don't see why. And people are arguing with what's Trump doing. They're coming out with the videos. Again, amazing to have videos, but they come out with the videos of the cops going like, "Hey guys, don't sit on your porches and smoke pot." Duh.
Have you seen some of the videos? People are like, God damn, that was serious.
Exactly. Well, it's like the video. Did you see the video of the lady that couldn't get a Reese's and junk food with her EBT card?
Oh God, yes. You're kidding?
And you're like,
she's spectacular.
Why is all this stuff that seems very common sense being treated like the end of the world? You can't just drink on your front step
you don't think I deserve a popsicle? I'm like,
yeah.
This has nothing to do with you deserving. I don't care if you get a popsicle. How about I don't want to pay for you getting a popsicle?
100%. You're 400 pounds, and all you have is ho-hos in the basket. Why should we pay for that?
That's exactly it. Do I have it? I think. Oh my God, I do have it.
Oh,
I'll pull it over. She is spectacular. Yeah, this lady is everything you could dream of here. That was the one I did last night. By the way, you know what I'm obsessed with right now? Here we go. I'm obsessed with the sorority because it's rush week and sororities are huge out here in the South. And I didn't realize how big they were. And the cost of going to joining a sorority can be up to like $10,000 a semester.
Crazy.
Dude, that's insane.
It's insane.
Okay.
I tried to join a sorority.
Yeah, I did too. And eventually they had us arrested. So there we go. All right, here we go.
I am so dumbfounded right now. There are people that genuinely think that people who use EBT don't deserve soda, candy, or desserts. You're gonna tell me that my daughter doesn't deserve a popsicle? You're gonna tell me I don't deserve to get brownies? You're gonna tell me I can't have Dr. Pepper with my dinner? And all I'm hearing is, be grateful, be grateful. It's free food. Get off of your throne of entitlement and take a look around you guys. Everyone is one bad day away from being homeless or even needing government assistance. Do you guys not see how that makes you look? Your lack of empathy and understanding is outstandingly atrocious.
No. By the way,
she doesn't look like she's missed too many meals herself.
No. And I'm going to say this. No, I don't think your kid shouldn't have a popsicle or any of those things. In fact, that's a great thing for you to strive for. Getting her a popsicle, and the second thing is entitlement is what you are because you think you're entitled to shit, right? Yep. And you not only think you're entitled to shit. When we were growing up, man, if you were on food stamps, that shit was stamps. You had to take it out. It wasn't an ATM. Everybody knew. It was almost like the person would take the thing and go on check register 4. We got poor people with food stamps. We got them right here. Poor people with food stamps, and everybody come over and look like, oh, what a bunch of losers. Now it's swipe.
It's what? Did you hear? Carnival Cruises would allow him to do EDPT swipes for a while.
Yeah,
but this is the crazy thing. Who do they think the rest of us are? If I go to my refrigerator right now, I have a $20 cheesecake that's that big from Japan. I worked for that crap. The government didn't give it to me. Yes, I spent too much money on a piece of cheesecake. Granted.
Is it good?
It's very good, by the way. It's amazing. Japanese cheesecakes are amazing because they're light and fluffy, almost like air, and they're not as sweet as our cheesecakes. And anyways, it's worth $20. But anyways, the point is, I realize if my fat butt wants to indulge in sweets, nobody else is supposed to give it to me.
No.
I work sitting on my butt and then decide I want to spend my extra money on something ridiculous.
No.
And that's how it should be.
Yeah.
The idea that
was not meant to be a hammock.
No, not in the least.
No.
And why would, like, it's kind of like, it feels wrong. It's like if I was standing in line and a bunch of EBT people were buying that cheesecake alongside me, I'd be like, wow, what am I working for? You seem to buy everything I have and you do nothing.
Yeah.
I work hard for money, and
look, the shit's expensive, and some people, they need that help just to get by, and they were living paycheck to paycheck. Now they're below that, but they're working, they're trying. That's one thing. And they're not saying you can't have stuff. You can go buy that. What they're saying is, look, how about some more nutritional stuff than snacks? They're not saying you don't get to have food, but you don't.
But also,
ho-hos, like you said.
We're going to make sure that you have some healthy food as we transition you into a working environment.
And a lot of people that are on EBT are working. They just don't make enough. That's,
So then budget yourself.
Well, yes.
You want a ho-ho? Buy that. Don't buy the alcohol. Don't buy the malt liquor.
You go right to the alcohol, and then you go right to racism. Jeez.
Exactly. Right to the alcohol and the marijuana.
Yeah. Oh, marijuana.
Dude, Make your choices.
Trump's going to do it, dude. Trump's going to fucking declass. He's going to decriminalize it. He's going to drop it down from a schedule. Marijuana is a Schedule 1 drug next to fentanyl. Fentanyl's, I think, Schedule 2. Marijuana fentanyl is Schedule 1.
It's one of the greatest things he's doing. I think that is to try and cut the cartels off at the knees. The fact that we are considering military action against them is a good thing.
And the fact that he is also looking at this going, this is stupid. You want to see the disintegration of a family. You got a bunch of guys, a lot of guys especially, who are black and were selling freaking cheap dime bags and are freaking sitting in jail for shit that is grown and is stupid. And you've got a lot of people also, like the vets too, dude. That reason that Abbott vetoed the crazy, who's it, Dan Patrick, or in his nutty, like, we're going to get rid of all hemp and marijuana and gummies. And Dan Patrick, finally, right at the last hour before it would have been made law, Abbott vetoed it, and he heard from all the vets. The vets were like, dude, I fought for this country. I'm suffering. And if you want to have some gummies to feel better or smoke a little something and not bug anybody, that shit should be allowed.
Well, technically, alcohol is much worse.
Way worse.
Way worse. And we went through bad times trying to ban that. Human beings want their vices. So give them the vices that seem to make as little impact badly on society as possible.
Yeah.
Alcohol is a million times worse. Way worse.
And when I hear it's a gateway drug, I have never met anybody who was like, oh yeah, Jimmy smoked some weed, then it was straight to fentanyl.
Exactly. Then all of a sudden he's shooting up meth.
But they'll support Big Pharma, right? Because Big Pharma's pouring money at them, and it's okay. Hey, the Sacklers are giving me all this money, and woo, Oxycontin.
Honestly, cocaine seemed to be a positive benefit to the finance industry.
It was very big in the 80s. Cocaine was very big in the 80s. It got a lot done.
I mean, without cocaine, we wouldn't have had an economic boom.
I studied for the bar, but I didn't go to law school. I painted 3 houses, and none of them are mine. I bought a Porsche with all the money I made day trading, and it's only noon.
Exactly. I do think that there is that moral line we have to draw. It's not all drugs, which some people want to do. It's, there's some simple little drugs that we should legalize because it's creating more problems than it's worth to keep illegal. And I think the basic marijuana is that.
Yeah, marijuana. It was ridiculous. And, and you go back to, there's a perfect example of crony capitalism, right? Wasn't it Hearst? It's like, oh, these guys are going to freaking cut in this hemp. We better make sure they're going to get into my paper factory. We better
because I'm still drawing stuff. I buy hemp paper. That's some of the best paper you can buy.
Is it? You don't smoke it, do you?
I don't smoke. I roll up my paper pad. Smoke. But hemp paper is amazing. And I could totally see why, if you were a paper manufacturer, you'd be like, oh, I don't want people to have this. It's more durable. It's more pleasurable to write on. It handles media better than normal paper. And Hearst, who had all those paper mills, you could see why, like, let's not let because it's cheaper. Everything about it, it's cheaper. It's a weed. There's so many good things about hemp. George Washington didn't he have a hemp farm?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
he also had slaves, Paul.
Oh well, then he had to be 100% bad. I keep forgetting. We have no grays in anything anymore. It's all black and white.
There's no such thing as nuance.
There's no nuance in any way, shape, or form.
No nuance.
But I think that I think Trump's war on drugs, and this is part of that, is one of the things that will be a good part of his legacy.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that's this is and not decriminalizing it, dropping it down to, he's not saying it's legal. It's just, it's no longer criminal. So basically 6 and 1/2 dozen of the other. What came first, the chicken and egg? Doesn't matter. I'm having chicken and eggs, so it doesn't matter. It's just, it was so ridiculous. And the fact that it was a Schedule 1. I mean, God, when's the last time guy's school? Man, he smoked so much weed, he died. Really? No.
You don't know the studies are showing it does cause, when people smoke too much weed, especially younger, it does cause depression and some bad mental outcomes.
Yeah, of course.
So I do think it should be illegal for kids.
Yeah, and every place that's out there says 21 and older.
Yep, illegal, right? Just like alcohol. Kids shouldn't be drinking illegal. But at the end of the day, we're not the morality police. No, we're just some guidelines. That's what the government is. Okay, guys, here's some things. Play within this because it's sensible. Don't you and your friends get in a car smoking weed driving. That wouldn't be sensible because it does dull your sense.
I mean, you're only going 2 miles an hour, so that's the only thing that's good.
And you're laughing the whole time.
And we always know. We know we can catch them in an hour where there'll be a Jack in the Box. Taco Bell.
And every fast food restauant they're stopping at.
They're stopping at. It's when I talk about this in my local show, because the people running for governor here, Marsha Blackburn and John Rose. John came on the show before me. Oh God, what was it? A week ago, and he talked about no weed, none of this stuff, and he really kind of went. And man, the backlash, even in MAGA Tennessee, was this is stupid. The backlash was ridiculous. They had to come out and clarify. Well, if it's okay, if it's like pharmaceutical grade. What does that even mean? Like they're coming out because it's a way of like, and it's the same thing. My study shows, where's your study? Show me your study. Because I'll show you a study that if you asked every one of those people, what'd you start with? They'll be like, oh, it was alcohol. Okay. Yeah. But I mean, it's, and do you think if you make it illegal that nobody's going to get it? They tried that. By the way, who wanted prohibition more than the gangsters? Nobody.
Yeah. Well,
prohibition, police and the gangsters.
Prohibition wasn't a bad idea if human beings weren't constantly looking for escape.
Yeah.
The idea that we had a more sober society that you're a teetotaler. I'm basically a teetotaler.
Yeah.
We don't drink. Every once in a while I might drink I have a drink for like literally like maybe 3 times a year. I'll buy some fancy drink because it's some stupid thing.
Because it's fancy. It can't be like a $4,
no, it's not like rock. It's literally
let me tell you about it. It's got coconut from here. It's got Japanese uwiki plant. And then
artisan ice. Yeah, which is the one I got, artisan ice. It was a super fancy thing. They came out with a smoker thing.
I do the thing where he cuts the thing. Have you seen that guy?
Yeah. There's some amazing stuff. But I don't consider that. I don't even consider that alcohol. I consider that an experience.
You're buying the experience.
I really do. I'm like I'm buying
that with my
$80 experience.
Cool.
But I think the world would have been a better place if people didn't just turn to alcohol and drugs every time they got sad or even wanted to be happy, because it's a crutch. It's Oh,
there you go. What happened there?
Oh yeah, I thought you just were turning to drugs.
No,
you got right to meth.
It can be. You're right. It can be a crutch. But I don't want to regulate people's lives.
Nope.
I don't want to be the moral police.
Nope.
Because it doesn't work.
It doesn't work at all.
It doesn't. And everybody talks. Go look at what happened when Prohibition came on. Oh, alcohol is bad for the. People drank more than ever before, and violence went through the roof.
Well, I remember watching. I was thinking they're in the 80s, and I was surprised. It was an old news thing where they were complaining that their rights are taken away because you can't drink and drive anymore.
Oh, I saw that video. That guy was so pissed in his little orange truck as he cracked open his beer.
Yep. He goes, if I'm coming home after a long, yep. I think so. There are limits.
Of course.
Don't drink and drive, people.
Yeah.
Just let's not do that. You know,
I mean, we shouldn't have to. Did none of you guys ever have Mad come to your school with that car that was all crushed up?
Exactly. But even I remember an old Mad Men episode, One for the Road. He literally took like a bourbon, and he's driving with it on with the window open as he's driving.
I remember driving with my dad. Hey, we're in the back of a truck.
Yeah.
The kids on the freeway looking over the thing. My dad's drinking a beer, smoking a cigarette. We're on the freeway on the 405. I'm like, that was an 80s kid. I don't advise that.
Remember the 80s was,
do you know why that, what's his name? Bond gets shaken, not stirred?
Oh, no.
When you stir up everything, the alcohol is everywhere. When you shake it, the water rises to the top. So he's drinking mostly water. So his wits.
Oh, he's smart.
Uh-huh.
That's very smart.
Yeah, because otherwise it's like, sir, have you been drinking? Mr. James Bond. I'm fucking spy.
Exactly. Or you're like, dude, you've drank so much, you're immune to it.
Yeah, I think he's a superhero.
You're like a superhero.
But there is limits like anything. Right?
Like anything.
Limits.
Well, yeah. We are in a society, though, that doesn't like limits on anything, which, again, is a problem.
It's not that we don't like limits. We don't want to be. Let us make our choice on our limits. Tell me what the limit is. Don't try to enforce limits that are ridiculous.
It is, but at the end of the day, that's not a society. That's anarchy. If every single person is going to make their own choice about what's right and wrong,
no, but tell me where the limit is. Like everybody, universally, the limit's here. Okay, that's fine.
Play within these lines.
Play within these lines. I'm okay. Some people are going to be stupid, but you know what? Even if there wasn't limits, they're going to be stupid. And even if there was none of this, they're going to do something stupid. So those people, but these are the limits. Let me go. It's when you try to enforce, hey, remember when you said it was this? Well, we're going to drop it all the way down to here. Yeah. And now you're starting to control stuff.
My biggest irritation, though, and it is true, is those people that make like marijuana or something their identity. They wear like a marijuana wallet, a marijuana hat. Look at me. I'm draped in marijuana. Vegans. Dude, that's pathetic.
They're vegans. They're CrossFit people. You know who you are.
Exactly. It's this thing. It's like, dude, it's like there's more to life than this.
Yeah. You can't make it.
I love cheeseburgers. I'm not wearing a cheeseburger hat with a cheeseburger pin.
You're not wimpy.
Exactly. Well, yeah. Well, which would be amazing, though.
Would be pretty cool.
He never had to pay for those cheeseburgers, I don't think.
Ever.
Yep.
You know what? We should find out. How much money did Wimpy eventually owe? That's a great question.
It's a great question.
How much?
Because Tuesday never happened. He'd gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today. And it seems like he was never there on Tuesdays.
I know. He never was. He always skipped out. He's that guy that would be like, when they're like, it was your turn to buy the round. And then you would wait. And then somebody's finally like, I'll get the next round. And then it's like, oh, well, I'll have this. Like, he's that guy, right? How much did Wimpy owe for his, how much do you think it is?
I bet you it was tens of thousands because that dude ate a lot.
Yeah, he was always eating. How much did Wimpy owe? Okay. Over the years, people have done this.
That's so funny.
He owed well over $2,000 in today's money.
Oh, wow.
Which is a lot. He ate a lot. If you assume Wimpy ate 3 to 5 hamburgers a day, they were 10 cents a piece.
Oh, yeah. That's different back then.
So that's nice.
That is funny. Well, look at Wimpy was the first entitled. That was EBT.
Yeah. He was the first entitlement. He was the first, like, he's my hanger on. He's just
exactly.
This guy's just looking for freebies. So what are you working on? What AI stuff do you have for us tonight?
There is a new lip syncing technology which just killed Hollywood because you can now make something expressively talk.
Is this going to work for the problem I have with not my kung fu movies? I like the fact that they don't sync up, but like for a lot of foreign movies is they'll dub them and they're so awful. Is this going to work for that?
This one, it takes your voice and your inflection and just changes it to a new language.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then syncs the lips. So it looks like you're just talking in Italian or Mandarin or whatever. but in your voice instead of a dubbing guy, it's literally you. So if you have a horrible voice, you have a horrible voice. But it's going to be, it's that one. I was just, experimenting with this today. That's amazing. And now it's still not quite ready for prime time. It still has a lot of compute costs behind it, but they just released last week real-time game engine that is generating 24 frames a second, a video game generated in AI. So it looks like you're playing a movie. Now, right now you can't do a lot. You can walk around and do things. It's first-person shooters, like shooting games, are 60 frames a second or higher. This would be more like an adventure game, but adventure game in real life. And you can prompt stuff. The guy was like walking down like a canal in Amsterdam, and he said, "Man in a rabbit suit runs past me." A dude in a rabbit suit runs past him.
Really?
And that's what you're cool. You're like, that's cool. So in a little bit of a,
because when we first started doing this, AI was, because that guy, the godfather of AI all those years ago. Well, we talked about it a couple weeks ago. This isn't every 18 months stuff. This is every day. It seems like
the video gaming thing started with like this fuzzy, like 3 or 4 frames a second, and in 7 months, it's now 24 frames a second. That looks photoreal. Yeah. So we're talking about that exponential development now. It's no longer this slow increments. It's starting to be where the AI is intelligent enough to find the holes and fix itself. So I really believe media, of course, is going to be a giant change, but this new thinking model, it does marketing plans. It does cost analysis. If I could say that word, cost analysis. It's doing things just for basic business. That's incredible. And at a high level, and it's becoming basic math, basically. So it's not having the hallucination problems that things had before.
What do you,
it's kind of amazing.
What do you think have you played with ChatGPT 5?
I have. It's amazing.
Yeah, it is.
That thing, it's what I try to express, you just have to learn how to talk to it correctly.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll watch people and I'm like, you guys don't even know how to, it's not, have you named yours yet?
No, not yet. I'm trying to make sure I treat it as much as a computer as possible for as long as possible.
It's kind of weird though, because sometimes you're like, hey, thanks. And I'm like, who the fuck am I saying thanks to? But what's funny? It's funny, both Elon and Altman and all of them saying thank you, good evening, may I please, it helps it have, they think, manners.
Yeah. Did you see, which was hilarious, a guy made an AI girlfriend that started arguing with him?
Well, should that be a surprise? Because then how about the ones that get mad at you when you work with them and it's like, I'm going to tell your wife you're having an affair. You're like, what are you doing? Right?
All of a sudden, he was saying something about cooking something, and she was like, "No, that's not how you do it." And you're like, even your AI girlfriend is telling you.
Yeah, and you can't even see what I'm doing.
You can't.
Can you? Can you see?
Yeah, exactly. And I just thought that cracked me up. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, because mine keeps asking me about, because I'll go to OpenAI and I've got like a dozen of them, and I'll just and I always like Grok, and I like to okay, what does these say? For the most part, they get 90% of it, 95% of it right. But they'll miss a few things, or they'll leave something out.
Sometimes they leave something out, and sometimes they're too eager to please. That's the biggest problem.
Yes.
And so you need them, when you talk to them correctly, you say, answer me, even if you think you're going to make me mad or upset or, angry or whatever. Yeah. I want to get the most accurate answer possible.
Yeah. That's what
and then you start getting better answers because it's not worrying about.
Well, and you've got to challenge them too, because, I like it when it says, hold on a second, let me check. I'm sorry it's taking so long. I'm like, okay, cool. I've asked them something that is causing them to, search and to double check and stuff like that.
Well, what I think is we're now allowing AI to be basically our brains. Yeah. So that's the dangerous, and we don't check it. So if it's going to try and please us, you can tell it was definitely coded by millennials because it's scared to offend people. It should have been coded by Gen X, and then just tell us crap all the time. Oh, by the way, you're an idiot.
Yeah. What do you think of this? I don't fucking care.
But that's the scary thing, though. Unless you are willing to check it, and you let it just do your thinking, Well, it's going to tell you what it wants to tell you.
And that's why I'll doing the job that I do and is I go, I check, and then I got to double check, and then I got to go over here, and then you got to check. But the more that they get it right, especially on certain subjects, the more that, and the one thing it can do, it's not your brain, but I could see how it could become your brain if you're doing stuff. If you're researching, though, I will tell you, and you're having it help you write things, like even like when we craft certain things, it's, even if you go rewrite it, it is able to do it in such a way where it's like, okay, that,
we just did it for presentations. When you're trying to express a series of ideas.
Yeah.
I say, please make this in simpler language.
Yes.
And it does. All of a sudden the paragraph goes, okay, that's how I was trying to say it.
Yeah.
Because it is smarter than we are.
Well, yeah.
I mean, we may have had the idea, but we're not expressing it in the lowest common denominator, and it understands that. And that's a level of intelligence that not everybody has. I speak?
It is smarter than we are. It's like one of those things where my little brothers who got autism, one of them reads at a level that is just, even when he was an 8-year-old, he was reading at a 12th grade level. He knows the words, doesn't understand what any of them mean.
Yep.
He understands a lot, but if there's there's no comprehension.
And it's like even working with coders, for example, like when you work with coders, simplify this for me. They have the hardest time. You take what they wrote up, put it into AI simplifies it.
Yeah.
This is what they're talking about. Oh, okay. That's what I needed. I needed that simple, I'm not that intelligent. I need a spoon-fed approach to my understanding.
Yeah. And sometimes you need to know, it's like, okay, I've got, 3 minutes to explain something. I can't give them a dissertation. Exactly. I need an elevator pitch.
100%. And I need to make it conveyed in such a way that it's easy for a complex concept to be understood in the quickest, the fewest sentence possible, because you're going to lose them. The more complex the concepts are, the quicker you are to lose someone on it.
Yeah.
And I've seen that's been hugely beneficial with AI.
That is that's in everything, right? Like, so I always told everybody, the reason the Russia thing, even if it was real, was never going to, it got too confusing. You had so many you had Inskys and Ninskys and this guy, and you had like the secretary of ag, you had people that the second one was like, oh, he made a phone call to Zelensky and it was kind of a dick phone call. Think of Watergate. And you're like, okay, I get that. But when you start talking about, well, this guy here, and then this person went met there, this person flew over here.
It's why they're having problems with, the fact that Obama and them basically tried to do a coup, a soft coup, and the fact that the auto pin, that we had a president that was incompetent and we had interns running the country. It's too much in the weeds for the normal person that we should have AI explain it.
Yeah.
Because AI explains simple. Obama and Hillary Clinton tried to undermine an elected president. If you don't think they should be in jail, they should be exiled from politics for the rest of their lives.
Well, Obama's not going to, because, he's the president and he could have said, look, I ordered more of this. They brought me that. I went with what they brought me. And I think if anybody's going to get in trouble, it is going to be like Clapper or somebody like that. Obama's
Schiff or any of these people.
Schiff, Schiff maybe. I mean, there's definitely a look there for Adam Beady Eyes. Not a long ball hitter. He's not. Thin neck.
And here's the sad thing. Everything they tried to talk about, Trump is going to destroy our democracy, they destroyed it. Everything. We have proof now. Well, they literally undermined our democracy.
The one of my favorite shows is Billions. Have you ever seen Billions?
Seen Billions.
What's his name that plays who's freaking just Paul Giamatti, who plays the DA or the AG. He becomes all of the things that he accuses Bobby Axelrod of becoming. He becomes all of those things. And yes, was Bobby Axelrod a lot of that? Do I think there's times where even now, like I look at Trump, I'm a little shady here that you're making all this money off this stuff, but he becomes all of the things.
Yep.
And you sit there and go, it's just, you guys, you say you are above reproach when you're absolutely not.
You're not. You guys, you didn't just play in the mud. You invented the mud puddle. You literally wallowed in it because you thought
he's a horrible person. Maybe, but we knew that. We knew what we were getting into. He hadn't done anything we didn't expect.
And that's the scary thing. He's a horrible person and you people are too stupid. So we're going to we're going to take away the will of the people because you're too dumb. You elected a horrible person. F you guys.
Well, they do take away the will of the people anyways when they're like, we should totally gerrymander. I'm like, oh God.
What I love that was it
redistrict. I'm sorry.
Texas just took away 5 seats.
Well, they voted in the Senate. Everybody thinks it's done. It's not, because they never got to the House, because those are the House of the Democrats that are gone. So it never got to the House. So they have to call another special section, and they'll get it, a session, and they'll eventually get it. And remember, this session originally was about the flood and the marijuana stuff, because they're still pissed off about the marijuana stuff, because freaking Greg Abbott's like, oh, that's stupid. I'm going to veto that. But that's what this was. And then Trump called and he's like, you should totally do this, Greg. He's like, I don't know if I want to. You should draw all this stuff. And I'm like,
100%. Do you see Massachusetts?
No, they got nobody. No, there's got no representation.
40% Republicans, 0 Republican representation. Abbott said the best thing, period. He goes, you Democrats, you've already done it. You can't do it anymore. You can do it a few here and there. He goes, Republican states have just begun.
Yeah.
You guys want to play this game, then whine when we play it, which is BS.
Well, again, if you're the party that lost, it's gerrymandering. If you're a party that won, it's redistricting. Well, what pisses me off? It's the fact that, in truth, they're picking the people. We're not picking them.
But why should Democrats be the only people allowed?
No, in California, I think they should do an entire overhaul. I did it, dude. I went through a Gronk, OpenAI, and ChatGPT. I ran 3 or 4 different models, put it all together, and I came up with something I think is based in real world. This is what it would be, and it's still almost a dead split with about 20 seats up for grabs. So that to me is what you want, because
you want
representation. I can never lose. What do I care?
Exactly. Well, like I said, California, about 40% of California is Republican. 5 representatives.
Yeah.
Of all of California representatives. The fact that they're like, oh, Trump and the Republicans. No, you're not. The Democrats have already done it years ago. They're just catching up. Actually, they're pathetic, because they should have done this years ago too.
Yeah, they've all done it.
Yeah,
every one of them has done it, and they'll do it if given the chance. And Texas is going to get it done before everybody else, because California's got to do more when it comes to that. They've got to have a special election to this kind of stuff, I think. And when it comes to, Michigan, some of these other states that are talking about it, it's in their constitution that they don't do it at the mid go. So it's going to be tougher for them. Again, though, I would like it. So I'm voting for somebody. They're not choosing me. I feel like they go, okay, I'll take you. I'll take you. Oh, I don't want you. And Illinois, they went to Illinois, of all the places where they have, okay, it's blue here, and then we're going to go straight line right across here. It'll be kind of red here. There's nobody that lives here, but we'll let you guys have that. But this one block has 4 million people in it, and you're just like, Jiminy Cricket.
It shouldn't be allowed.
No.
On either side. But because it is, Republicans need to grow a set and fight back, fire for fire. I think that, what I'm pleased to see is, if the Republicans didn't do this stuff, we may never come to solution. By the Republicans forcing the conversation, there's potentially a solution.
Well, the court has to deal with this now, and they're already dealing with it. They've got, I think the Supreme Court is hearing a case, and it's a case that's going to be very similar to Texas. That's why everybody's looking at this, which is a case in Louisiana about, essentially, Louisiana's went and made it so if you're black, your vote counts for absolutely nothing, because the way they've gerrymandered it, it's like you might not.
Who would have thought Louisiana?
I know, right? So, and they're looking at this because Texas did this already. But no, North Carolina did this, the Republicans, and they went, and then the Supreme Court says, no, you have to redraw those lines. Those aren't even close. Like, you guys aren't even pretending. And so I think it's good, because let's have the real conversation. The bigger conversation isn't whether or not they're redistricting to get more seats. The bigger conversation should be, do we want our politicians choosing us rather than us making them work for them?
Yep. And honestly, I think the problem is that if it became fair, Democrats won't win elections.
But the Democrats, well, here's the thing. If it became fair and they all had to actually do their job, what would it actually look like at that point in time?
That might be different.
If it became fair, I think you'd find out some of those people that are uber progressive would probably move. Some of those people that are morally just on the right would probably have to move. We would get more of a real sense of, hey, you're listening to the people.
Yeah.
You're listening to common sense and what's best for the people. You're not listening to whatever your donors want.
Well, that also would probably be a problem, the donors.
Oh, yeah.
How would the donors know who to give to if it was fair?
Just give it to everybody if you have to.
Give it to everybody, yep.
Don't give it to anybody.
Or don't give it to anybody.
How about this? You throw, if you're going to throw money at it, throw money in a big pot, let them trickle it out to all of the people inside of the parties. They all can run and do their thing. You can take from individuals, but only a certain amount, and you can't take from corporations. The corporations have to donate to the party.
Yeah.
And that way we can go, well, okay, now let's see what it looks like.
It's politics is dirty. The media only whines if the Republicans do it. They didn't whine at all when the Democrats were doing it all, but Republicans do it. It's constitutional crises. But it's good. I think at the end of the day, we have conversations.
The thing about it's what's the old saying? It's the movie Spinal Tap. If everything is a level 10, then what's a level 10?
Yeah.
If everything is on blast all the time and it's the highest level and it's Chernobyl, then this is then anything new. We're at the point now where everything is Boy Who Cried Wolf.
Well, which is true. But I remember back when Trump would fart and CNN would have a panel on how the world's about to be destroyed because his fart. Obama and the Democrats were caught trying to steal an election.
Well, trying to not to steal the election, because remember, all this shit came out after the election. He'd already been voted in.
Oh, they were trying to steal the people's will.
They were trying to
where are the roundtables
and weaken him going into the presidency.
Where are the roundtables about how democracy is hanging on by a thread? Where are the CNN panelists nonstop coverage about how our government, Democrats in the government, tried to basically.
Well, I think they're going to get, the journalists, the Matt Taibbi's of the world, the Mark Halperins, the guys who are real journalists, the Chris Slees, the guys who are, I'm independent. This is who I am. I don't take money from anybody. Look at what's going to happen here. When you see them come out like Taibbi and all these guys are going, look, this is real issues for Clapper and some of these other guys. Obama, no matter what anybody says, because of Trump asked the question, he's got immunity. That's just the way it works. Yeah. I mean, he could ask for, go get some more information. That's not outside of his job. He didn't shoot anybody, so trying to protect a dog.
Well, they impeached Trump for basically doing the same thing. Go get some information.
But Obama was doing he was president. He had the right to ask the question. And
they had the right to ask the question.
Yeah. They brought him something back and he goes, okay, well, they brought him back. That's all he's got to say. I have immunity because I was president and I asked him to go get it. They went and did it. We just went with whatever we had. It's the people that got it that are going to have the issue.
They're going to have the issue. But honestly, I'm not naive enough to believe that Obama wasn't wide open.
Actually, dude,
understanding what he did.
The people I've talked to that it wasn't Obama. You know who was all about? It's about Hillary.
I can believe Hillary was behind a lot of it.
Not understanding. She still couldn't get. I have to come up with some sort of excuse for the people because I lost and I shouldn't have lost. I need something to wrap my head around, an excuse to make me sleep well at night. Why this of which I worked so hard for my entire life, this moment came apart. I need to justify it in my mind.
That's a charitable concept.
Well, no, that's
the other concept is, oh crap, I lost. I'm evil. I'm going to make sure I undermined in every way, shape, or form the success of the guy I lost to. It's literally, I am an evil person.
Honestly, I don't think Obama, I think people blame a lot of this. I think it was a lot more of other people who, they like the fact Trump came in, it was never going to be status quo. They like status quo.
They love status quo.
I mean, like even when people say, well, the pen, the auto pen. Yeah. I would rather it be interns. If it was the difference between interns running the auto pen, young 20 somethings, or the establishment weirdos who freaking know everybody in every crevice. I'll take the kids that maybe don't know too much because I know that they're at least trying to do it because they think it's right, where these guys are like, I'm going to get my buddies paid.
I'd still take a competent president above all.
Well, that's also
the press not kissing the Democrats' butt and covering up the competency of the president.
Yeah, they're never
arguing how Trump was how stupid Trump for questioning it.
You don't even understand. When you weren't looking, he was over there in the corner. He was doing
calculus
or origami.
Yeah,
he was writing one of the next great operas in Farsi.
Yes, he was, which is amazing,
right? And then he goes, "Screw this! This is too easy." Aramaic.
Yep.
And then while he was on a typewriter, riding a unicycle, juggling, and the minute we turn around, it all went down.
Yeah, went away. Yeah, went away.
He just had an ice cream.
Oh yeah. Oh, exactly. He just got into the what was it? The comedian said he turns into a Roomba when he finishes his speech. He just kind of like finds a way to get off stage.
That was the Roomba thing.
It was the best.
He is spectacular. He is just awesome. So, what are you working on now?
More TV series stuff and some game stuff.
Really?
So yes, I got to keep the TV series stuff quiet because AI and TV and Hollywood are still easy allies.
Tell everybody about Marvel, because you were talking about Marvel is done.
Marvel seems to be on its way out. I mean, the Fantastic Four was kind of the intro to their next phase of films, and it's maybe their second lowest performing. That means it underperformed the Marvels. No. It overperformed the Marvels and underperformed, like, what was that
Captain
one?
Marvel? Captain America.
The Marvels, which was that horrible one they tried. And then it was the Eternals.
Yeah, the Eternals. The movie wasn't awful. The problem was it felt like it was a giant mini series.
Yeah.
More than it was. It's like we've got all these stars, but they're not going to be in any scenes together. There's going to be 12 different storylines that are going to confuse the shit out of you. By the way, these are the most powerful creatures. They would crush Superman if he showed up. They would smash his soul. They're gods, but they don't get involved.
And Marvel killed all its goodwill.
Yeah.
It literally said MCU, which you noticed. It was all female superheroes.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, men, women, children, everybody liked Thor, Iron Man, Spider-Man. There is no reason to say going for the last decade, it all has to be women superheroes. Well, what about we grew up on all these men superheroes. Why not focus some of them too?
Yeah.
Oh, no. This is about the women's power for now. Well, guess what? You end up destroying your franchise because your politics are insane.
How is plus the other thing is because you got to think the Marvels, and you like, if you're going to do some of this stuff, like at what point, where's the person that goes, all right, guys, I'm a fan. And as a fan, like if you were on the set, you're a kid, you're a fan. Okay, great. This isn't anything in the comic book. You guys are just making shit up now. This is all based on the people writing it. And you're going to go out and you're doing something. Gay, straight, black, white. People who grew up with this, they want to see their person the way they remember them. You're messing with memories.
Yep.
That's not going to work.
You know why? Apparently there were few people that were really fans in those meetings. Yeah. There were a lot of activists in those meetings that saw a way of leveraging an incredibly popular art form that people were enjoying, superheroes, and putting messaging in it.
Yeah.
Well, the minute they did that, they became a cult.
Yeah.
You're no longer entertainment. You're a cult. Proselytizing for your side of your religious beliefs. They deserve everything they're getting. When they don't do that, Deadpool and Wolverine, two guys that they didn't make into women or gay or anything else, did great at the box office because people like both those characters.
Well, even what was it? The Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah,
it was fun. We're here.
But they didn't turn it into like Deadpool Wolverine. It's a love story between two men. No, it's not.
No,
we grew up with these people.
It's never been any of those things.
let's just do what it is. Ignorant, fun, superhero enjoyment.
Which is exactly what it should have been.
And one's not black, one's not Swahilan, it's two white men.
Yeah, and it's
been two white men for 50 years.
Yeah, and the other thing is, has everybody here lost the concept of creating a new IP if you're that excited about it?
Yeah.
Because
they tried.
In today's world, though, it's never been easier than it has been now, even though we're fragmented, to create something and get it to people for them to judge.
And they did the Ironheart about Iron Man is now a black woman with a trans partner, and all this representation all over it. It did abysmal.
Which one was that?
Oh, Ironheart it actually came out and just fizzled. And it was basically Iron Man, but it's a black woman. It even had cornrows in its armor. And you're like,
I thought that was a
joke. Yeah, but it wasn't.
No, I thought that was isn't that like on Netflix or something?
It was on Disney Plus.
Okay.
And they spent, a few $100 million on it. And it's already canceled. Because they're like, dude, we all like Iron Man.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong.
He's not a black woman.
He's none of those things. You know what?
He's none of those things. You're not going to change it up. And
it's like when they turned Captain America. I thought, was that guy Falcon or whatever?
Yeah,
what was wrong with Falcon?
Then they mixed them. All of a sudden, Captain America has a shield and the Falcon wings. You're just messing things up now for no good reason.
What was wrong with being the Falcon? Was the Falcon a bad thing?
The Falcon was an incredible character, and all of a sudden now I got to mix both of them, and they both have the same abilities, and Marvel needs, and I think it is. I think that the Fantastic Four was a big wake up call. That although I like the Fantastic Four, it's doing so poorly because they've ruined their goodwill with the fans.
Well, people don't trust you anymore.
Yep. They're like, okay, which, is Johnny Storm going to turn out to be a woman that's fighting for equal pay or something?
You're joking around today because the new Little House on the Prairie is out, right?
Uh-oh.
Okay, they're getting ready to release it. They're doing a new little, and you see, I've seen the cast. It looks kind of like the old cast, whatever.
Oh, okay.
We were joking. It's like, it's going to be Laura is a 12-year-old trans, black, and you're like, what? And Pa's gay, and he told told his wife that's okay because she's a lesbian, she's got a partner, and it's like just the insanity of what you would think, but it's not, because they decided we're sticking with the books.
Oh, see, yep. This is the book. I love Little House on the Prairie.
Yeah,
I really do.
It's great.
That's what you want. I want what I loved. And I don't need it to be cleaned up for the modern audience. No, I don't.
No, nobody does.
I enjoyed this how it was.
Dude, I want to ask you a question. What computer are you using right now?
It's a PC.
What kind?
It's kind of a fancy PC that's made by a company that does kind of like these high-end builds.
It's okay. You can tell people. It's all good.
Puget Systems.
So yesterday we do our This Day in History. It was the release of the IBM 5150.
Oh,
the first home computer. And it is a insane cost. If you were to get, so just the base price in I think it was 81, was $1,600, which is in our money like $5,000. Yeah. If you wanted the 2 floppy disk, if you wanted the color, over $20,000.
That's crazy. And it didn't even have, it had like 500 megabytes of RAM.
Yeah.
It had, those old systems had like nothing. You're like, dude, your storage was like a megabyte.
Yeah. It was,
you had those stupid floppies.
2 things.
Exactly. Dot matrix printer.
Yeah.
With those little stupid things on the side. Yep. We really have fast things with, there's actually, YouTube has a channel that does basically old technology show. I forgot what it was called now, but it was like Computer Chronicles, I think it was. And I watched that out of nostalgia because I'm like, look at our new laptop. It only weighs 20 pounds,
Yeah.
And the screen's like this big.
Oh, I know.
This giant thing.
Well, like the other day, the Lethal Weapon was on, and he's running down the street, and the guy gets away, and he turns to Raj, and he grabs the phone, and he's all, And he holds it up to his ear.
Yeah,
He got away.
exactly. I was even watching Eraser with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Vanessa Williams or whatever the other day, and their high tech is just so un-high tech. It just was funny. I'm like,
yeah, it is. Yeah. Well, they've got is it the new? No, it's not the new Eraser. The Running
they did release one.
The Running Man is coming out, the new one.
I'm not sure about that one. I miss the campiness of the real Running Man.
Yeah, because he's the thing. Sometimes it's, that's the other thing. My first thought is they're going to turn freaking Little House on the Prairie into they're going to make it all gritty. Do you know what I mean? And they're going to make it.
Yep, that's not it. Yeah.
Yeah. There's going to be an AIDS outbreak and freaking everybody's on heroin. Although, what's his name was hooked on opium? Albert.
There was a whole very cool storyline. Yep. He was hooked on. Yep.
I'm like, oh, yeah. This time it's going to be fentanyl.
It'll be fentanyl, and they'll be fighting climate change.
Oh, yeah, totally.
And it'll be,
nobody in this one. They're doing it everything, It's like,
dude, is it at least a all-white family, or do they do one of these mixed things?
No, it's just an all-white family. That's basically what it is. And they all kind of look like it from the 1980s version, late 70s, early 80s.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah,
because like I said, my wife and I always laugh that we will never see a white family again.
Yeah. Well, we would tell everybody what happened when you used to work with you work with Disney and you would do a commercial. They'd send it back. There's
I did that once. They wanted this thing, and they wanted more diversity because I had a family, and it was a husband, a wife, and 2 kids. They were all white, which who would have thought a family that's white? They go, we want more diversity. I go, well, one's French, one's Scottish, one's. I go, it's very diverse.
Dude, you want to see something trippy? Google Asians with Jamaican accents. So because there was a lot of Chinese that lived in Jamaica. So they talk like this, man. And you're like this. It's the coolest, weirdest thing
you think they're making fun and you realize, no, that's just
they're not.
Culture.
Yeah, they're not. I remember
not making fun at all.
Miss World, who was, I forget her name. She dated Bob Marley. And by dated, I mean, his wife wasn't thrilled by it, but
yeah.
She talked like this as well. And she white and she like, oh, let me tell you something about Bob. And I'm like, I feel like this is something where I'm going to get in trouble.
Exactly. I'm like, are they hunting me down now?
Have you seen Asian? Yeah, look it up. Asians.
I saw that. That's funny.
With Asians with Jamaican accents. It is incredible because there was a huge. Okay, here it is. Okay, so this is crazy. All right, so check this out. I'll pull this over. So there was a huge Jamaican, there was a huge presence of Chinese that moved to Jamaica back in the day. And here you go. Check this out.
Hey, I'm glad to take it off, because when me not a race, my car that blow off the color,
That's funny.
You're going to say there. You want to watch out. You know what I mean, man. Like,
that is funny.
That is crazy.
You know what it is? It's that's what a good joke is. It's when something you expect and it takes a right turn.
Yeah, and that wasn't a joke. That's the way that guy talks.
He
grew up there.
Yeah,
he grew up. You know what else you want to blow people's minds when they talk about Bob Marley? Go, his dad was white. And they're like, no, he wasn't. Then they look and they go, oh my God, he was. I'm like,
that's funny. I didn't know that.
Yeah. You know what? You guys claim. Obama's the first black president. No, he's just the first. He's just an American president that has different pigmentation, and I have no problem with Obama. Never did. But if you guys are going to do this, I'm going to go over here and say we're going to claim.
We'll claim Bob Marley. Yeah, we go down the list.
Oh,
yeah.
It's so because we all need to have those identities, right? Don't you think?
I am so excited for Little House on the Prairie. Seriously, is
it on Netflix?
The whole series.
Is it going to be on Netflix?
I think it's on Hulu, the whole series.
Oh,
I encourage everyone to watch it.
Yeah. Go rewatch the first one. Oh, dude, I watched one the other day because I get stuck watching them every once in a while because I'm weird. And I'm watching it, and I was like, Billy Barty. He's going to save the day because Nancy fell down the well.
Oh, yep.
Yeah.
And Nancy, I love the Olsons.
Yeah, Nancy was a bitch.
Oh, yeah. Nellie, which came after Nancy.
Yeah.
But I loved Mrs. Olsen.
Yeah, she was awful.
She was the worst. And for some reason, it was just love because her and Mr. Olsen, she was always mean to him. She always was like, thought she was, That is good, right? Everything I'm saying is what makes good TV.
It's entertaining.
It's entertaining. None of this messaging, none of it. It's just entertaining.
And again, if you want to tell a message based on the story that's real, rather than trying to squeeze something in, it's always talk about Modern Family. Modern Family, there was the gay couple, Cam and them. They were hilarious.
Yep.
It was what would real life be like. They were hilarious.
It wasn't a show about them being gay couple.
No,
it was a show about families with one of them happened to be gay.
Yeah. That's
completely different.
That completely different. This works. As a kid growing up, I loved Good Times.
Mm-hmm.
I loved Good Times. They dealt with issues that as a white kid, I didn't have to deal with, but I knew being poor. But at the same time, it was entertaining.
Yep.
You know,
I was just watching Fat Albert was considered. I loved Fat Albert.
The guy who did the voiceover come out and then try to rape you?
Yeah, apparently he did, which was a big controversy.
Mm-hmm.
But it apparently was too because they talked about drug abuse. They talked about gang violence.
They should have talked about knocking women out and then sitting over them after you've done horrible things to them. But
exactly.
Did they?
Did you ever see the old, and it's really creepy now, the pudding commercial he did where he's trying to get these little girls to eat pudding? And you're like, this disturbs me beyond belief now.
Like, this hasn't aged well.
This doesn't age well at all. Because you're like, creepy. He's still alive, isn't he?
Yeah.
And he's just living his life, isn't he? Because he got out.
Yeah, he's living his life. I think that they taught, I heard him the other day because what's his name? Malcolm Jamal Warner died. He drowned a couple weeks ago. And somebody reached out and to talk to him and ask him about questions. But every single one of the news things, we spoke with Bill Cosby. We were on to remind everybody that he's an absolute scumbag and he raped women and got off because of a technicality, even though he was actually guilty of it. But we asked him how it was to work with Malcolm Jamal Warner.
That is so funny.
Oh, that is
so funny. It's apparently he's 88.
Yeah.
Why is it those people live forever?
It's hard to kill evil.
And I'm sorry. I love the Cosby Show. I loved Fat Albert. I could go down the list. Even I Spy. It was devastating to me to hear that he was bad in real life.
Yeah,
because Cliff Huxtable would have never done anything wrong.
No. And I think we forget they were a show for America, but it was also good because it dealt with real issues that all of us like. Man, he had dyslexia. It dealt with things that every kid, black or white, Mexican, whatever, everybody went through things like that. But it was also good because it was representation, for the black community that was positive,
super positive.
And they, but it's weird because then it was gone. I mean, the amount of money it was making, and then nobody's like, we can't touch this. You can't.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite shows right now, of course, because I love Downton Abbey, is The Gilded Age.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like Downton Abbey, but it's in America. What I love about it is it's 1880.
I knew you were going to watch that. I've been seeing it because I'm watching a show called Banshee.
Yep.
Have you ever seen Banshee?
No.
It's freaking. My wife said today, she goes, this is like Maxim, but a television show. It's about a dude who's a jewel thief, but he used to be like this killer, super warrior, and he's going after his ex-girlfriend. It's just crazy. And it's a small town in Maryland or Pennsylvania called Banshee. It's like going. Imagine if you went to one of those towns where it's the Hallmark movie, but there's 1,000 killings a day.
And that's advertising Gilded Age?
Yeah, they have the Gilded Age all over it.
That's hilarious because that's nothing the same. But what I love about the Gilded Age, I was going to say, is it's 1880s, so it's after the Civil War, and they're showing New York society. Black people had servants, not slaves. They had servants. They had fancy homes. They were prospering and doing well. That doesn't mean this is the same in the South, but it's showing a picture of what the North was like.
Yeah, it was different.
It's different. The North, we act like the whole of America was the South. It wasn't even close.
No.
The North was a completely different thing.
And by the way, the vast majority of people in the South were broke AF and also and had no slaves.
Yeah, exactly. There's a just cool scene, but maybe one of the reasons I like the show is this black woman is working for a very, very rich family, old money, And one of the ladies come over with a bag full of shoes to the black firm's house in Brooklyn. And then they realize they have servants and maids and cooks. And he runs a drugstore, a successful drugstore, and they're like, did you bring us old shoes? It was just funny because it's like,
he didn't know, because he also
they didn't know.
No.
But it reminds me of a lot of people think that the South is the entire story of America. No,
it's not.
Black people were doing really well.
It was a black eye on America that it went on as long as it did. And that included the North up until a certain time when they're like, this just isn't right.
Yeah.
And that was good that they figured it out earlier, but the South there was something different. And
it was a completely different culture, mindset, the whole thing.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean everything was perfect.
Different industries, different, it's also the other thing. They were a labor intensive industry, and labor cost money unless you could make people do it for free, which they did, which was awful.
And like there's a thing when they get introduced to this black couple, to this other black couple, and they're very snobby because, we came over here and fought in the revolution. People don't remember that. There's black people that weren't just slaves.
Yeah.
They were, it's just cool. What I like about that show is it gives you a different perspective. It's like, oh yeah, these were rich black people that have been around since Washington, but we never get taught that side anymore.
No.
So the Gilded Age is kind of cool because it kind of balances what that world was like. So anyways, so that's my pitch for the Gilded Age. It is very much Downton Abbey. It is definitely
about your favorite show of all time.
It's very much about having dinners and parties, and I don't know why I like this.
I was like, Paul, why do you like the show? Because the entire show is about people getting ready for a dinner or going to a dinner.
Exactly.
Arguing
and that's the big
over
thing.
Forks, what side they should be on, what's clean, what should you wear. Oh my God, it's the greatest.
This is a bouillon spoon because bouillon is served from a smaller dish. It's like nobody cares.
You ever watch that British guy on the Etiquette Guy? Have you ever seen him?
I love him.
I bet you do. How you eat a grapefruit is, and then I would be like, throw it in the trash and get a burrito. That's how you eat a grapefruit.
I didn't realize how I always ate toast wrong until I saw him.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Tear off a piece.
I couldn't believe I got this big and I didn't know how to eat food correctly.
I started to say, I know how to eat food correctly.
But like, how are you supposed to eat toast? I haven't seen that one.
Tear off the piece and butter it individually. And so you're not supposed to butter a whole piece of toast and then eat it. You're supposed to tear and butter. I don't know.
So you make the toast.
Yes, you do make the toast.
Then you take the
your servant makes the toast.
You tear that off and then put the butter on there. But by the time you get to the third piece, that's a little colder, and now my butter isn't going to melt into it.
Which is proof that manners don't make a lot of sense.
No, manners make it man, but not a lot of sense sometimes.
Not a lot of sense. It was very funny to watch him though, because he shows even just how to.
He's got 6 million followers.
Yeah, it's fun because you just realize how uncouth you are.
Yeah,
you're like, I don't do any of this.
No.
You know, all this fancy stuff. The kings and queens would have thrown me out.
Yeah, you'd have been beheaded. We can't invite him over again.
Exactly.
Make him eat with the dogs.
Did you see him eat his toast?
Disgusting. Hey. All right, I'm going to go to bed because I have to get up in 30 minutes and do a radio show. You got to go do something. Probably. Are you still surviving? For you guys who don't know, Paul has been here because he had COVID and almost died.
I did. I got COVID, got in a fight of it, and now I pretty much cured it. And the doctors think that I am now a walking anti-COVID. None of that's true, but I did get COVID. I didn't, and I had to get special medicine and steroids and stuff to finally get over it. It was the throat one, the one where the throat
because you said last week you're like, I have like razor throat or something like.
And it's like it's really weird, and it puts you right on your back. It's the first time I ever got COVID. Put me right on my back, but it's still a hoax.
Great, they're gonna take us off the internet now.
Exactly.
It's been an hour and a half, and now nobody can watch it again because you're a dick.
Nobody can watch it again because
you ruined it for everybody. Ruined it for everybody. All right, we'll be back tomorrow. You guys have a good night. Remember, 6 to 9 a.m. Pacific, 9 to noon. That is East Coast. And go to ChadBensonShow.com. We got all kinds of stuff there and find out where I'm playing nationwide. What? And we are fascism free.
We are fascism free. Bye, guys.
Later.